Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Houlihan, and I am a consultant for the Dalton International DNA Project and the Dalton International DNA GEDmatch Project. The Dalton International DNA Project at FamilyTreeDNA.com now has 327 members. Of those 327 members, 246 have done Y-DNA tests. And of those 246 that have done Y-DNA tests, 197 of them are Daltons of various spellings. The 327 members, 154 of them have done autosomal DNA tests, and 83 have done mitochondrial DNA tests. And I'll explain what these are in just a little bit here. The Dalton International DNA GEDmatch project now has 170 members, and GEDmatch only compares autosomal DNA. So, how can these projects help with your genealogy research? Well, you can see if you share DNA with any of the other members of the projects, and you can find out how you're related to them, usually by looking at their family tree and other matches that you share with them. This may open up new research possibilities for you and allow you to connect with distant cousins. Finding siblings of your brick wall ancestors may help you to find the parents of your brick wall. Who should I have do DNA tests? Well, I would suggest that you do a DNA test, but also if you have older relatives, like a generation or two ahead of you, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, great aunts, great uncles, I would suggest trying to get them to do a DNA test as well. So, autosomal DNA is DNA that's 50% from your father and 50% from your mother, and it is passed down in small segments that are completely randomized. Autosomal DNA are the 23andMe, Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Family Finder tests from Family Tree DNA. Having siblings do DNA tests can also help because you and your sibling do not have all the exact same DNA. Because 50% is from your mother and 50% from your father, is completely random which pieces of DNA you get from each parent. Your brother, for instance, may have pieces of DNA that a fourth cousin has, and you do not. So your brother might match that fourth cousin where you don't. And that fourth cousin may just have a family tree that shows who your Dalton ancestor, brick wall parent maybe. So what do you do with your DNA matches? Well, you can look at their family trees and find your ancestors' siblings. Having multiple siblings of a brick wall is better than one, because then you have more of a chance of finding whose parents they are. If you have multiple brothers and sisters, it's easier to find out who the parents are than it is if you just have one. The Dalton International DNA Project accepts Y-DNA as well as mitochondrial DNA and autosomal DNA. So Y-DNA is typically the type of DNA that people would use other than autosomal DNA for surname research. Y-DNA has been used to break multiple people's ancestral brick walls. It can sometimes tell you if there's an adoption somewhere in your paternal line, and it goes much further back than autosomal DNA, like the Ancestry and 23andMe tests. Y-DNA can connect you to others who have also done Y-DNA testing. If you do a Y-DNA test and you match other Daltons, you have a way of contacting your matches, whereas you wouldn't if you didn't do a Y-DNA test. If you can find a distant cousin to do Y-DNA test, you can prove your lineage back to the common ancestor. So let's say you have a third cousin, Dalton, and you do a Y-DNA test, and this third cousin also does a Y-DNA test. You could prove back to your 4 times great-grandfather that there was no breaks in the Y-DNA. So I would suggest trying to get your brother, your male cousin, uncle, father, grandfather, anyone that you can to do a Y-DNA test, because it's really helpful when you're trying to learn more about your Dalton ancestors. I'd also suggest trying to do autosomal DNA as well. You can join the Dalton DNA projects, the GEDmatch project, and the Family Tree DNA project for free if you've done a DNA test. You can transfer your DNA test from 23andMe, Ancestry, or MyHeritage to Family Tree DNA for free. You can easily join the project with the Family Finder test at Family Tree DNA. And you can join the Dalton International DNA Project and the Dalton International DNA GEDmatch project for free. GEDmatch only accepts autosomal DNA, but Family Tree DNA does Y-DNA testing and matching. So how do you join the projects? Well, first you must download your current DNA test results from 23andMe, Ancestry, MyHeritage, or have taken a test at Family Tree DNA. And then you can transfer your results to Family Tree DNA or GEDmatch, or both. Then you can go to the project page at familytreedna.com/groups/Dalton-International and click Join in the top right-hand corner of the page. Then go to gedmatch.com and click Ancestor Projects. Scroll all the way down to the Dalton International DNA GEDmatch project and click Join. So to download your 23andMe DNA results, if you took a DNA test at 23andMe, first sign into your 23andMe account and then click on your name in the top right-hand corner. In the drop-down, click on Browse Raw Data, and then click Download. Click I understand in the checkbox and click Submit Request. To download your Ancestry DNA results, if you took a test at Ancestry.com, click on the DNA tab, and then in the drop-down, click Your DNA Results Summary. Then click Settings in the top right-hand corner. Scroll down to Actions and click Download. Enter your password, click I understand, and click Confirm. With both 23andMe and Ancestry, you'll get an email from them after you've done this. Just follow the directions in the email and it'll tell you how to download these DNA results. Do not try and open the DNA results after you get the download, because then you'll unzip the file and you need the file zipped in order to upload it to Family Tree DNA or GEDmatch. After you download the DNA results, just leave them be. Don't try to open them. All you'll see is the letters of your DNA. It's not very useful. So what else can you do with these downloaded results? Well, you can transfer your DNA results to familytreedna.com, myheritage.com, and gedmatch.com. 23andMe and Ancestry do not accept transfers, so you must purchase a test from them in order to check your DNA in their databases, which I highly recommend. Do a test at Ancestry.com and do a test at 23andMe.com, and then transfer your DNA results to FamilyTreeDNA.com, MyHeritage.com, and GEDmatch.com. You only need to transfer one DNA result, so I would just pick one 23andMe or Ancestry and transfer those. Having your DNA in all the different major databases is what I like to call fishing in many ponds. You could catch all the fish in one pond, but there's different fish in other ponds. And one of those fish might have the family tree that shows who your brick walls parents or siblings are. I highly recommend that you try and get your results in all the different DNA databases, but especially FamilyTreeDNA.com and GEDmatch.com, so you can join the Dalton International DNA projects at both of those websites. So this is a graph by Leah Larkin with the DNAgeek.com, and it shows the number of people who are in each of the major DNA databases. This is just for autosomal DNA. So at Ancestry, they're by far the leader in their database numbers. They have 23 million. 23andMe comes next at 13 million. MyHeritage DNA has about 5 million. Family Tree DNA has about 1.5 million, as well as GEDmatch. And Living DNA has about 300,000. I've transferred my results to Living DNA, and I do not have any matches there yet, so I don't mention them much in my slides. So to join the DNA International DNA project at Family Tree DNA, you can either transfer your 23andMe, Ancestry.com, or MyHeritage DNA. The MyHeritage DNA, MyHeritage is partnered with Family Tree DNA, so they incorporate their transfer process with the DNA download. It's all in one, so you don't have to download your MyHeritage results in order to transfer to Family Tree DNA. They automatically do it, but you do if you have 23andMe or Ancestry. So first, you go to FamilyTreeDNA.com. At the top, click on Upload DNA Data. In the drop-down, click on Autosomal DNA. Fill out the information form that pops up with your first name, last name, email address, and whether you're male or female. Click Join Today. Then click MyHeritage and click Go. Enter the email and password to your MyHeritage account and click Login. Click the box next to I understand or I authorize and click Transfer DNA Data. To transfer from 23andMe or Ancestry, go to FamilyTreeDNA.com, click on Upload DNA Data. In the drop-down, click on Autosomal DNA. Fill out the information form like I mentioned before. Then click on the 23andMe/Ancestry DNA. Click on Browse for your file and select the unzipped raw DNA download file. It would typically be in your downloads folder, and then click Submit. After you've transferred your DNA results to Family Tree DNA, to join the Dalton International DNA Project, go to FamilyTreeDNA.com/groups/Dalton International, Dalton-International, and click Join in the top right-hand corner. And then a pop-up will come. It will say, if you have a kit, please sign in here. And click on the word here. And then another pop-up will come, and it will say to enter your kit number and password and click sign in. And then it'll give you some information about the project and another pop-up. And there will be a button underneath the information that says join, and click on that button. It typically takes a few days before your DNA results will be live at Family Tree DNA. They have to put them into their database. But once the results are available and you've joined the Dalton International DNA Project, you can log into your Family Tree DNA account, scroll down to Additional Tests and Tools, and click on Advanced Matches. Select the Family Finder button, and then click where it says Show Matches for Entire Database, and select Dalton International DNA Project, and then click on Run Report. And that's how you can check to see who you match that's in the Dalton International DNA Project. If you want to join the GEDmatch project and you did a DNA test at MyHeritage.com, then you would sign into your MyHeritage.com account and click on DNA at the top, and then on the drop down, click Manage DNA Kits. Then click Download Kit. It'll give you a pop-up with some information about downloading the kit. Click Continue, and then another pop-up will come confirming you want to download the kit. Next to where it says I confirm, click the box, and then click on Continue. You'll get an email, and it'll give you instructions on how to download your DNA test results. If you did a Family Finder test, which is the autosomal DNA test at Family Tree DNA, to download that, if you want to join the Dalton International GEDmatch project, sign into your Family Tree DNA account, click on Results and Tools. In the drop down, click on Autosomal DNA, and then click Download Raw Data. Then click on the arrow next to Build 37 Concatenated Raw Data, gzips, CSV. And just like the other websites, you'll get an email. Just follow the instructions in the email, and it'll tell you how to download your raw DNA file. So to transfer your DNA results to GEDmatch.com, go to GEDmatch.com, and in the top right-hand corner, click Join for free. Then we'll get this form to fill out where you enter your name, your email address, and a password that you create, and click Register. Then you'll get an email with a passcode in it. Then you enter that passcode in this box here and click Confirm. Then it'll say that you were successfully registered. And to click the top right button to return to the login page, but actually it's the top left button. The drop down will come and you click Login. In the login, enter your email and password that you made up and click Login. It'll ask you if you want to accept the terms and conditions, reject them, or decide later. To accept them, click on the word Here under Accept, and then it'll say that they're glad you joined, ready to get started. Click on this green button that says, Let's upload my DNA data. Then you'll go to the home screen, and there will be two ways you can do this. You can click either link, it doesn't matter. This blue sentence here where it says, click here to upload your DNA data, or you can click down here where it says generic uploads, 23andMe, FTDNA, Ancestry DNA, most others. Click either of those links, and then a pop-up will come. Enter your name. If you did a Y-DNA test at Family Tree DNA, enter your Y-DNA haplogroup. Then click on this drop down here and select which company you did the DNA test with that you'd like to transfer your results from, and then select either male or female for the sex of the donor. Then scroll down. It'll ask when you upload raw data to GEDmatch that you agree that the raw data is one of the following. If it's your DNA, select that, or if it's someone else's, you can choose that as well. It'll ask you if you want to opt in or opt out. Opting in will allow the police to use your DNA to track down violent criminals, and it'll also allow your DNA to be used to confirm the identity of John and Jane Does. If you opt out, the police will not be able to see your DNA in the database. And I do not recommend doing research or private. And scroll down to where it says choose file, and then go to your downloads folder and choose the DNA download file that you downloaded. And scroll down to where it says upload and click on that. Sometimes takes a little while for it to upload. Click the I am not a robot CAPTCHA or the pictures if they come up, and do the CAPTCHA, and then click on Proceed with Processing. After it's done processing, they'll give you a kit number. Be sure to write this number down because you're going to need it to compare your DNA to others. And then it'll ask you a question. It'll say, when will the kit be available for the one-to-many tool? Click on this box and select typically within 24 to 48 hours, and then click Submit Answer. After you've uploaded your DNA data to GEDmatch.com, to join the Dalton International DNA GEDmatch project. After your results are available, log into your GEDmatch account on the right side, down towards the bottom. You might have to scroll down a little. Click on Ancestor Projects. It depends on whether you selected Classic or New. A search box is available in the New. If you selected Classic, you might have to scroll down a little bit to see the Dalton International DNA GEDmatch project. But once you get to it, either by using the search box, typing Dalton, or scrolling down, click on the Join button. Then this pop-up will come, and then it'll ask you a couple questions. Please answer them thoroughly for the DGS, the Dalton Genealogy Society researchers and genealogists. And then select the button next to your kit number and click Submit. After you become a member of the Dalton International DNA GEDmatch project, you can compare your DNA results to the rest of the people in the project by logging into your account, once again scrolling down and clicking on Ancestor Projects on the right-hand side, entering your GEDmatch kit number into this box here, and then clicking Submit, and a list will pop up of all the members that you match in the project, as well as their email addresses, so you can contact them.